time is now 9:30. I will call the September 11th, 2018 meeting of the Millcreek Township Board of Supervisors to order. Being as it is September 11th, we'd like to take a moment of silence to remember those who lost their lives 17 years ago. Thank you. I'd like to open the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on our agenda is public comment on agenda items other than development or rezoning applications. Would anyone care to address the board regarding today's agenda? Hearing none, next item is the administration of oath of office to our new Assistant Treasurer, Melanie Page. Melanie, do you want to join me up front? Would you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, Melanie J. Page,
I, Melanie J. Page,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties of Assistant Treasurer
and I will discharge the duties of Assistant Treasurer
in Millcreek Township, Erie County, with fidelity.
in Millcreek Township, Erie County, with fidelity.
You're sworn in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll be introducing our student ambassadors. Mr. Groh, would you like to do the honors of that?
This is a pleasure that I truly have every year. We have an excellent program with the Millcreek School District with the senior program. Thanks to the counselors, Beth Majeski, who of course cannot be here due to a schedule conflict, Crystal Myers, and Sarah Palm, who work with the gifted program at the McDowell High School and giving us students that are interested in being part of our board, understanding how government works. And hopefully this may be an inspiration to them to possibly look at elected office sometime or getting involved with local government, whether you do it as a career or do it as a volunteer citizen. So sometime in your future, maybe this will have an effect on you. It might scare you away too. We never know, but hopefully we'll make a positive impact on you. I want to introduce our student ambassadors for this year. First one is Hannah French. She's age 17, and of course she's a senior at McDowell, actively involved with music programs, and she plays cello in the pit at all musicals, as participating in the musical competitions, and she is also a cellist in the Junior Philharmonic, also a member of National Honor Society, the Honors College, Key Club treasurer, and recently started an environmental club at McDowell High School. Hannah's college plans are to attend New York University with a major in political science and a dual minor in music and environmental science. Okay, and then also we have Shane Carnes. He is currently a senior at McDowell High School. Shane is a president of the mock trial and speech and debate team. He also competes for the debate business team, takes martial art lessons, works at Wendy's. That must be in your spare time, right? Okay. Next year, Shane plans to go to college and will major in economics and a minor in philosophy and hopes to move on to law school. Finally, he would like to thank all the people in Millcreek who have given this opportunity to be an ambassador, and we are really love to have both of these young students with us. And a big thanks to their counselors for helping all this happen. And we hope this relationship continues. It's a good relationship and simple to go with. And so I just want to introduce them. You'll see them at different meetings. They're going to alternate. They're not going to be here as they are together. So I don't know who's going to be at our next meeting, but they alternate back and forth. And so Once again, welcome aboard, and when we come around to you guys at the end, you probably have a comment or two. So anyway, that's that there. Thanks. Thank you,
welcome.
counselors. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, John.
Yep.
Next item on our agenda is the approval of the minutes of the August 28th, 2018 meeting. Any questions or comments from the board? Is there a motion to approve the August 28th minutes?
I'll move on that.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Grove?
Vote yes.
Mr. Bach?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next item is approval of the bills. Any questions or comments from the board on the bills?
Nope.
Is there a motion to approve?
And we've got to pay them. I'll move.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Grove?
Yes.
Mr. Bach?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next item on our agenda is bids and quotations. The first item is the only item is vehicle lift from Public Works. And I want to make a brief comment. At the last meeting, we discussed kind of amending our procedures for capital budget requests. I want to thank Mark Zakrzewski for developing some new procedures to kind of clarify the capital budget and cost overruns and surpluses. And I want to thank Gary Snyder for being the guinea pig who filled out the form first. So anyway, thank you, gentlemen, for addressing that concern from the last meeting. With that, Mr. Snyder.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm requesting from the Fleet Maintenance Department purchase of a vehicle lift. This will replace a 25-year-old lift that is not in working condition. This will be purchased from Mohawk Lifts under the state contract of number 440001769 for the cost of $14,001.73. It would be my recommendation that we approve that request.
Any questions or comments from the board?
Nope.
No.
Is there a motion to approve the purchase of the Mohawk lift, of the purchase of the vehicle lift from Mohawk Lifts at the price of $14,001.73?
Yeah, I'll move on that action.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Grove?
Yes.
Mr. Bach?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
We should also amend the capital budget to put that excess amount into reserve.
All right, gentlemen, there is the capital asset acquisition form. Is there a motion to amend the capital budget to shift the
I rounded it to
right
the nearest dollar, so.
$498 into the reserve line item?
Yep. I'll move on that action also.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Mr. Grove?
Yes.
Mr. Bach?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next item is ordinance 2018-7, an ordinance to amend the Millcreek Township zoning ordinance, number 2011-8, as amended by changing the classification of certain parcel of land situated in the Township of Millcreek, Erie County, Pennsylvania, as described as follows to wit: 4321 West Ridge Road, Erie, Pennsylvania, now zoned R1 Single Family Residential and C2 General Commercial District. 0.9 acres of the parcel in the rear to be rezoned to R4 High Density Residential District. Gentlemen, this action was approved by the board at a previous meeting. This is a follow-up action to actually amend the ordinance to reflect our previous actions to approve this rezoning. Any questions or comments from the board? Is there a motion to approve ordinance 2018-7?
Yes, I'll move to approve that ordinance.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Grove?
Yes.
Mr. Bach?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next item on our agenda is Resolution 2018-R38, a resolution pursuant to Resolution 2015-R20 and the Municipal Records Manual to approve proposed disposition of certain township records. This is a routine action of the board. The records to be disposed of, that we're approving the disposition of today, is Millcreek Township Police Department dash cam videos that will be deleted upon reaching their required retention period date. Videos that reach that date between the dates of September 12th, 2018, and September 25th, 2018 will be approved for disposition. Any questions or comments from the board?
Nope.
Is there a motion to approve Resolution 2018-R38?
Yes, I'll move on that resolution.
Is there a second?
I will second.
Mr. Grove?
Yes.
Mr. Bach?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next item on our agenda is Resolution 2018-R39, A resolution regarding the Fire Commission recommendations the township allow the fire departments and the Millcreek paramedic services to use the township fueling stations and to provide vehicle maintenance personnel trained to maintain the fire department's vehicles. Gentlemen, I believe this is an ongoing issue. Our Fire Commission has made several recommendations to us. We have been in discussions about those recommendations, but I believe this action is simply to formalize our proposal to the Fire Commission for their consideration. Is that correct, Mr. Shaw?
Yes, the intent of the resolution is to respond to two specific recommendations made by the Fire Commission relating to the use of the fueling stations as well as the potential creation of maintenance personnel within the township to serve the maintenance needs of the fire departments and their vehicles. So the purpose of the resolution is to set forth the parameters under which the township, at least with respect to the fueling, would be able to move forward. There are a number of conditions that need to be met in order to accomplish that, and those are spelled out in the resolution. And then also to request that or direct that the Fire Commission create a committee to begin the process of looking into the maintenance issue to determine exactly the requirements needed to do that and how that could be accomplished, and working with the Director of Public Works to do that. And then lastly, simply directing the Fire Commission to follow through with its stated obligations under the ordinance, or when the commission was created, to submit to the Board of Supervisors the capital budget item requests as necessary by October 31 of each year, to kind of remind them of that obligation. So it was put together, like I said, in response to their requests, and hopefully we can move forward and begin proceeding with figuring these issues out.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw. Any questions or comments from the board?
I think that we're heading in the right direction, which I believe we have been since the creation of the Fire Commission. Maybe had a couple missteps or stumbles, but we're on the right track. Folks, we need to have that adult discussion sometime, and that's about what the fire service is what we need to do for the fire service here in Millcreek Township and how it's changing. Fire service is aware of it. They need to acknowledge it. We have acknowledged it here at the township. This is getting to the point where it is going to eventually cost the township more money to provide fire protection in this township. It's going to take creativity, do things that are really outside the box of normal of what we've had in the past. What was in the past isn't always working when it comes to staffing, funding, and so on. So be prepared, folks. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just letting you know that the time is coming. The crisis is here. We need to be talking about how we're going to work on how we're going to fix it. We've already started that here with the creation of the Fire Commission last year, and that's all I can say for right now. I could go on forever and ever. I don't want to, but folks, just be aware of this is just the beginning of how we're going to be taking care of the fire services as time goes on.
Thank you, Mr. Groh. Mr. Bach, any commentary?
I'll just add that the resolution is a good first step. It's a very small step in this process, but if we can get this done, that at least gets us heading in the right direction, and
For sure.
keep building off this to make headways. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bach. Is there a motion to approve Resolution 2018 R39?
Yes, I'll move on that resolution.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Groh.
Yes.
Mr. Bach?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next item on our agenda is a land development plan exemption request from Country Fair located at 5838 Wattsburg Road. Mr. Waldinger.
Thank you. Good morning. We've been approached by Country Fair, who is seeking a land development exclusion for their store at 5838 Wattsburg Road, which is at the corner of Wattsburg and Wager, just north of Interstate 90. They're proposing to add a 420 square foot addition to the existing building. Since the addition is under 5,000 square feet, will not modify the driveway or street access, will not alter traffic volume, and complies with all zoning requirements. The project complies with, and the project will comply with stormwater management requirements. The addition meets the requirements for a land development exemption. So we recommend that an exemption be approved at this time.
Any questions or comments from the board?
It's, of course, this is just a standard thing. If it's less than 5,000,
If-
we can exempt.
Yes,
board
the
can.
ordinance gives the supervisors the discretion
Okay.
to exempt if they meet those criteria.
Now, this addition that you're referring to, is this in reference to them now with a liquor license to sell? I think is that the location that they are able to sell beer from now?
I believe they're seeking that,
So
yeah,
that's
but they have to
probably
do
what this
interior
is
remodel
in
and then
conjunction
also
with.
a small
Okay.
bump out.
Yeah, so that's why they're doing it. Okay.
Yes.
Any additional questions or comments from the board? Mr. Shaw, Mr. Waldinger's question of procedure as far as these exemption requests, does this require any kind of public hearing or public comment?
No.
Okay. All right, with that, is there a motion to approve the land development plan exemption request for Country Fair at 5838 Wattsburg Road?
Yes, I'll move on that.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Grove?
I vote yes.
Mr. Bach?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next item is a letter of support request for an ECRA grant from Headwaters Park. Mr. Waldinger.
Thank you. Tom McClure, the district manager of the Erie County Conservation District, has asked that the Board of Supervisors provide a letter of support to accompany the Conservation District's application to the Erie County Gaming Revenue Authority for a community assets grant. This grant would be used by the Conservation District to match a DEP grant to construct and maintain ADA accessible trails in Headwaters Park, as well as general ADA improvements to the Headwaters Nature Center. As Headwaters Park is a valuable resource to the citizens of Millcreek Township, particularly those that reside in the Bell Valley area, my department recommends that the board send a letter of approval, or a letter of support to ECRA on behalf of this application. I'd just like to note that the Conservation District's application does not compete with any grants that the township is seeking.
Any questions or comments from the board?
No, good idea.
Well, I'll just add that I think we ought to support this request. A number of reasons, one of which is the township, as an entity, is not permitted to directly apply for gaming revenue fund grant projects. So if we can support our nonprofit community in going after those grant funds to bring those resources into Millcreek Township, and if we support those opportunities, I think Headwaters Park is a great asset that not a lot of folks realize we have in the township. Actually, part of the Embrace Millcreek process, we noted that we have everyone knows Asbury Woods, but no one really knows we have Headwaters Park out there in Bell Valley. So, just want to appreciate Mr. Waldinger bringing this to our attention, and I think it's a great project and a great thing for us to support. With that, is there a motion to approve a letter of support for Headwaters Park for their ECRA grant?
Yes, I'll move on that letter.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Mr. Grove?
I vote yes.
Mr. Bach?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next item is the August building construction report.
Okay. Give me just a second here, if you will. For the month of August, in the residential construction aspect of it, construction value of $139,736. That's of construction value. And in the commercial aspect, $852,100, for a grand total of $991,836 of construction value for the month of August. As you can see, we're starting to slow down here. The zoning permits, there were 29 issued as a result of that, and the permit fees were $3,950. The paper copy of this is available in the zoning office here a little bit later today, and it will be on our website by the end of the week, I believe. So,
Thank you, Mr. Grove.
thank you.
Next item on our agenda is communications. Mr. Jakszewski, anything to report today?
Well, the only thing I have to report is that our new website is due to be introduced on September 20th, so it'll be between our two meetings. So it's on track, so hopefully nothing falls off the track between now and then. So look forward to seeing our new website come next Thursday.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Thanks, Mark. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mr. Grove?
Yeah, I wasn't on the agenda here, but I do have one. This happened late yesterday. We've got a couple of calls from residents who been spoofed. If you know the type of calls, that's where numbers are used to call somebody and say that they can fix their credit, or it's the IRS or something. Well, somehow the township's number was used for this. This, I guess, is a very easy process for these spoofers to do, where they can tag on to a number because our receptionist got a couple of calls from residents. Just as a reminder for everybody, these spoof calls are exactly what they are. They're trying to get information from you. Do not give out information. First of all, the Millcreek Township, we do not call people and asking them for their credit card number or tell them we're from the IRS or anything like that. So if you know of anything like that, or if it happens, call our police department. Let them know what's going on. Keep track of that number, because somehow they're able to, I guess, through investigative process, trace back to where that call is coming from. But it's probably from a foreign country. So just wanted, we were spoofed yesterday. So. Okay, that's all. I just wanted to add that there. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Mr. Grove. Next, we have training requests from the Planning and Development Department. Mr. Waldinger.
Thank you. Yes, I have two requests. First one, at the last meeting, I asked for and received permission for 3 of my staff, Emma George, Joel DeTulio, and Kevin Dennington, to attend a GIS for Stormwater workshop. I would like to also add Matthew Puda, Planning Assistant from our department, to attend that workshop as well. It will be held Thursday, September 27th from 8:30 a.m. till noon at the Tom Ridge Environmental Center. Cost of the workshop is $10. We just ask that he be allowed to attend with the other 4 and travel in the same township vehicle with them.
Questions or comments from the board? All right, is there a motion to approve the training request?
I'll move to approve that.
Is there a second?
I will second.
Mr. Grove.
Yes.
Mr. Buck.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Something else for us, Mr. Waldinger?
Yeah, the second is the 2018 PSAT Stormwater Conference. I would like to request permission for Emma George, PE, and myself to attend the 2018 PSAT Stormwater Conference. The Western Pennsylvania session will be held Thursday, October 18th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the RLA Learning and Conference Center in Cranberry Township. Cost of the class is $75 per person for a total of $150, and we request the use of the township vehicle for travel. The sessions of this conference deal directly with our implementation of the MS4 requirements. Ms. George will attend the technical track, and I will attend the policy track, so we'll be able to maximize our attendance at this conference. There is sufficient money in the planning and development budget to cover this expense.
Any questions or comments from the board?
Training's good.
Is there a motion to approve the training request?
Yes, I'll move on that.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Grove?
Yes.
Mr. Buck?
Yes.
And I vote yes. No MPD requests today, Mr. Buck.
We have no requests from the Millcreek Police Department today. I
Chief Hyde on
double-checked.
vacation? What's going
No,
on?
I double-checked with him yesterday, and he reiterated there were no requests. So
All right.
maybe next time.
Maybe.
Maybe next time.
Next on communications, report out to the public. The board did hold executive sessions on August 30th, 2018, and September 6th, 2018. Those executive sessions are routine meetings with our solicitor and executive team to discuss various legal and personnel issues in the township. Next is solicitor communications. Mr. Shaw.
Nothing to report.
About our student.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Right to know requests.
For the month of August, we received 6 requests. 3 were granted, 1 was denied, 2 were partially denied. All expenses were reimbursed to the township by the requesters. Thank you.
Can I ask how many hours of work was that?
16.
16 hours by township personnel for right-to-know requests. That's how many hours of time was involved. And valid, too, of course.
Job security.
Yep.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. And our student ambassadors, would either of you like to share anything with us today, or introduce yourselves? Or?
I was just going to speak on behalf of, there's the band invitational this weekend, Saturday, for the Millcreek Marching Band, and they're very good, so that's just my news.
All right.
Okay, good.
Also this weekend, the McDowell Trojans football team will be going to Boardman High School to compete. So good luck, Trojans. Also, the speech and debate team will be traveling to Yale University to compete. Thank you.
That's cool. That is really cool stuff. Yale, wow.
Thanks, Hannah. Thanks, Shane. With that, citizens to be heard. Would anyone care to address the board today? All right. Anything else with good of the order, gentlemen?
No,
Ms. Williams?
quick meeting.
All right. With that, I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
Yes, I'll move to adjourn at 9:55.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.